massive stories attached to World Supercross. Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, welcome to the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's bar banging topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thoughts. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It's very important to stay close to the channel in these crazy moto times. All right, friends, I laugh at this stuff. Crazy moto times. World Supercross is revealed a lot. I hope you guys see this. Listen, as an ex-industry guy who worked on the team level, on the brand level, understands the dynamics and the politics of the sport. This thing is insane. So much to cover. That was awesome. First of all, it was awesome to see some gate drops, but what was more awesome for me is to blow the lid off of exactly what's going on with our moto industry right now. There is so much to cover. I can't wait. Today we're going to talk a little bit about World Supercross and some of the things that it revealed to us. But at the end of the day, it's all about the riders. And there was some significant things that we're going to have to cover moving forward on what we saw from the opening round with the riders. Too much to cover. So the first thing we're going to do is what we learned. What did we really learn from World Supercross? Well, I'll tell you what, like we talked about before, they see the cracks and the fractures, the economic strain on American motocross and supercross. They saw a crack and they said, let's see if we can come in and at minimum be like the sister company to Supercross. If we can at least, because we've always had these off-season races in Europe. Paris, King of Paris, whatever, Prince of Paris, all those things. This is an opportunity for them to see if they can do that. The reality is, even with this new this other series that's coming, I forgot, you guys leave in the comments below, it's the Super Moto Cross series or whatever. We're combining Supercross and Motocross outdoors, and both organizations are joining one to create some new hybrid type of series. Why are they doing that? I'm about to tell you, because they're about ready to fold. You understand what I'm saying? They were about ready to fold. They had to join forces because they can't package this thing up anymore to sell it to a television package because the politics they've just became way too political. Became way too political. So that's what was really going on. They were forced to work together. They didn't want to work together. Are you kidding me? They're enemies. They even admitted as much. So that's the reality. There's massive fractures. And I've told you before, and I believe we're going to see it again. This will be the craziest season we've ever seen. It's already displaying itself. New World Supercross Series. Our existing Supercross Series now trying to join forces with the outdoors to create some new hybrid. I'm cheering for it all. But I just want you to understand, this is basically out of necessity, not a choice. Insane, this stuff. So with World Supercross, friends, what we're currently learning here, and this was the first race. And you know, there was a lot of the racing was pretty darn good, but you got to cut them a little slack. This was the first event for these guys. Riders, at least on camera, saying they enjoyed it. It was professional. You know, it was a little bit crazy. And the reality is, for me, friends, personally, like the 3-race format and all those gate drops, I understand. Great for the fans. For me, I would almost rather see the traditional 15-lap 250 and the 20-lap 450 race. And, you know, because that's, I mean, the energy, the hype, you got one shot. This is make or break. No, you got 2 more chances. You got 2 more chances, so if you have a bad start, you can. It's cool for off-season stuff, but I think our premier Supercross has to be one main event. I like the Triple Crown events, maybe sprinkle a couple in there just to throw a little monkey wrench into the program. But the realities are, this first round revealed a lot. Pretty much riders unprepared. I mean, how could you be prepared? You're riding bikes that you've really got no testing time on. We got to really talk about, there's so much great stuff to talk. I can't wait to report on Kenny Roczen. This is the type of race that benefits Kenny Roczen, but he looked good on that production bike. The production bikes have the capability of running with these works. Yeah, I'm sure it had a lot of parts and stuff in it that aren't available to us, but for all intents and purposes, he wasn't on a factory Honda. He was out there on some version of it, but it wasn't a factory Honda. And that's what's going on. So what we're learning currently from World Supercross, and I can't wait to see as it moves into Australia, And I believe if there's a good chance by next year they add a round, the next year another round. This is the first. They probably have a 5-year plan. You got to give them a 5-year plan. You can't count them out after their first round. That was pretty impressive. The Ralph and Jeff bringing the Voices of Supercross back, it was okay for me. Like, I appreciated the nostalgia. Their ship has sailed, but it was fun to see him back. So I think the commentating now is gone next level. I appreciated them. I think that's a great place for them to continue to do that. But that was it. The GoPro footage was horrible. Like, why are you even cutting to this on-bike camera footage? It was so bad. And I'm missing racing to watch this crappy footage. I didn't like that. Didn't like that. The only thing I liked is it revealed. We're going to cover this moving forward because this is so huge. Massive. The riders. The riders. Like, we brought dudes off the couch. Reed, Grant, cartwheeling it out there. And you know what? They didn't want to race this race. Once they got to the race and did some practice and qualifying, do you think they had to? It's like Evel Knievel when he shows up to the Coliseum and he's like, I got to do this jump. Like, once you're committed to it and you've been paid, or people are relying on you, or there's people in the stadium, it's basically that kind of environment. I bet you if they could have tapped out, probably would have tapped out. And many riders we knew would. And even if had they not crashed before the mains, there's a good chance they would have just rolled around in last place. I report on that. Reed has no business out there. Reed has no business out there. We'll talk about him a little more in depth. I think this is a family dynamic that's really driving Reed. But this was a money grab. It didn't go well for some of the riders. Some of the riders we saw, the Kenny and Eli, but the rest of the pack, there's a lot of storylines moving back, and even storylines with Kenny boy. I mean, Eli's Eli. I mean, that dude's he's on his A game. He's the guy right now to beat. So, there's really not a lot of talk about him. But what there is a lot to talk about is why World Supercross thought they could do this. It's because American Supercross is in trouble to the point where they had to revamp their series and try to do some new hybrid system. It wasn't because they wanted to. It was out of necessity. It is ready to fail. We're going to see the craziest offseason we've ever seen. Stay tuned because I really want to tackle some of the riders, what I'm seeing all from Seeley to Grant to Reed to Kenny. McElrath, there's a lot of big stories. World Supercross is going to help some careers, and it's going to end some careers. Mark my words. If you appreciate the content, I do want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link is in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there. And if you enjoyed this video, another video should be coming into your screen with an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars today. I will see you on the next video.